Well, everyone, there's been so much hype about the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro, the XL, whatever they're going to call it. And apparently, Front Page Tech actually went ahead and published out and got their hands on the final specifications of this specific device. Now, it's been a minute since we even heard anything about these phones, and we saw the design leak out a while ago, and I was pretty shocked by how this phone looked compared to the predecessor, the Pixel 5, but even the predecessor's predecessor, which was the Pixel 4, and I didn't really think those phones, I mean, I like the back of those phones, but the Pixel 5 looked pretty good, but it didn't feel that premium. These phones, on the other hand, look very different in my opinion. Now, here's what apparently the Pixel 6, the smaller model of the phone, is apparently bringing. So it's going to have a 6.4-inch, AMOLED display. We don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's still going to maintain that 90 Hz refresh rate. I'm not 100% too sure. I really hope that's the case. We're getting a dual camera setup on the back, so a 50 megapixel wide-angle lens, then a 12 megapixel ultra-wide sensor. We're getting a front 8 megapixel sensor, and just based off that pretty much tells me that we're still going to have 1080p on the front possibly, but at least we're going to have hopefully 8K on the back. That'd be crazy compared to, considering we have a 50 megapixel camera. The battery of this phone is going to be 4,614 milliamp hours. We're going to have an 8 gig of RAM option, and the storage models are going to go from 128 to 256, which I still don't understand why they do that. I mean, I know why they do that, so they can get us to buy more Google Drive storage or whatever, but it's still a very strange thing. Now, that's for the bottom model. The top tier model, the Google Pixel 6 Pro or whatever they're going to call it, is going to have a bigger 6.71-inch OLED display. So apparently it's a POLED display. Now, here's the thing with this one. It's going to be roughly around the same size as an iPhone 12 Pro Max, considering they have roughly around the same size screen. Now, this one is going to have a triple camera setup on the back, so a 50 megapixel wide-angle lens, a 48 megapixel telephoto lens, then a 12 megapixel ultra-wide sensor. Now, the front camera of this one is going to be 12 megapixels, so possibly this one will have that 4K at 60 option on the front. As long as one of these phones have it, I'm perfectly fine with it. If we go with like another Pixel 5 or Pixel 4 year where it's like no 4K at 60 on the front, that's going to be a big deal. Pixels are known for their cameras, and now that LG has gone out of the way, pretty much, OnePlus is not even like kind of the same phone company as it was before. Google has such an opening of taking advantage of this specific area and becoming the number one. I mean, really it's Samsung, and if Google knocks that out of the park with the Pixel 6, I mean, this could be the perfect phone for a lot of people. I wouldn't even consider the Pixel 5 to be, I would consider the 4A to be perfect in so many, different ways. Now, the craziest thing is about the Pixel 6 Pro is that it's going to have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. That is a massive size battery to have on this type of phone. And we don't know the resolution of the display. I'm sure it's probably going to be 1440p, but if not, if that's a 1080p panel and it's that big, but with that 5,000 milliamp hour battery, you're going to be getting some very solid battery life from this specific phone, which is something I'm looking very, very forward to. We have that 12 gig of RAM option on this phone, but here the storage variants are 128, 256, and it goes up to 512. So at least this phone has that 512 variant, where the Pixel 6, standard bottom model does not have that 512 variant. I think it's very weird, but again, it's whatever. Now, another massive thing about the Pixel 6 is that it's potentially going to be getting 5 years of software updates for both of these devices. At least that's what Front Page Tech is reporting. Now, that's another really massive thing, and I knew this was coming mostly because, Samsung has been continually to improve their software performance and software lifecycle. So, their software isn't that great, but at least you get longevity on their software now. And Google is, pretty much matching iOS's software. So that's a pretty big thing in terms of release time. So you're still getting day one updates with these Pixels, which is something I really do like. And that's essentially it. So I cannot wait for this phone to come out. It is probably going to be one of my favorite phones this year. I think I'm going to like it more than the S21s and probably even more than the OnePlus 9s as well. I think iPhones are still going to be up top, but this is definitely some crazy stuff. If you guys have any comments or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.